something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trayvon Walker able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. On the return, here's Agnew. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
So a nice run there, and I have to think a strong running game in the playoffs, maybe even more critical than the regular season. And if you go by the numbers, the man they have running it here, he was the best in the NFL.
And since he led the league in rushing yards, I think it means he's going to see the ball a lot in this game, too, because that's what they're built like. That's what they're built around. So I think the offensive line, the tight end, the wide receivers, everyone is coming together, wanting him to get the ball and get it often, and they want to carve some holes out there for him.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give to Etienne running right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
Now Lawrence to throw on 2nd down. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Lawrence will throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. Patterson's kick is good. The Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. And that's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they... The throw for Tony is intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade American. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. When he went on the move there and started rolling out, I thought there was a window, but that window closed quickly, intercepted.
And sometimes, despite how big your arm talent is, you don't get enough on a throw when you're on the move as opposed to setting your feet and stepping into one. That may have been the case there, and the defense certainly benefited.
Always got some breathing room. And we'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. And maybe starting a campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Yeah, strike up the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front, and he's definitely off to that great start, a 2nd straight week.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building it.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On play action, it's Mahomes. James has got it, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
That's good power football on first and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
Second down and goal. Mahomes. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Foyesade and Lurikin. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here at their own 23.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, first and 10.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
From the 36, Lawrence. Open man downfield is Ridley. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, 64 yards. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. 17-0 our score after 1. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. A dump down to McKinnon. And some space here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That goes for a Chiefs. $14 yards. From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop. A tackle for loss.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now here's Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
It's Kelsey on the ground.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Devin Lloyd.
Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. Here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Trayvon Walker. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Etienne once more. And the Chiefs D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And he will will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. Third down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
A shotgun snap and again to ETN. And he'll get 2 or 3 out of that one, as that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Break.
Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He'll find Jones again, complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Back to the ground with ETN.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, but it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Down to about the 22 here. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue. But all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes.
That went into the hands of Tony downfield.
Then he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they had been seeking.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. Buying time to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Taken in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, 63 yards. And the Jaguars continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes now to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Mahomes throwing on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Another tote for ETN. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They go play action now. Lawrence steps away to his left. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd down, here's ETN. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get through at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
80 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round. Here's Lawrence. Flushed out right. That's complete to Travis Etienne out of the backfield. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Etienne up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
A give, running right, Etienne.
And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 3 plays, all resulting in 3-yard carries to bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as thick.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space.
Down the left sideline. On the move past the 40. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
I know it's tough to make tackles in the open field, but that one hurts because he got a little bit extra after the missed tackle.
Receivers are coached so well, they have to break at least one tackle after the catch. He did that on that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
43!
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes. This is caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce from 13 yards out.
And the Chiefs get a bit closer.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before.
Takes it at the 7.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Here we go.
2nd and 16. On the counter, Etienne. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away. They stuck it in the end zone. Keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And that pick six a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth-quarter lead. L'Jarius Sneed up to make the play defensively.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The offense on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And Ingram hauls it in. And he will have a Jaguars first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's James returning. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs.
You've got to understand situational.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Etienne. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Lawrence will throw. They'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. And he's going to have a 1st down on a gain of about 10, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
And the 1st down, Chiefs.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Here's Mahomes. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Mahomes.
Caught on the slant. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time,
with the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
110 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On first down, right back to Etienne. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out